I'm very aware that you asked 3 particular questions of me in that feedback. One of them was about how the church could include character traits, people like being kind and serving others. How could that be included in training and development of leaders who work with children and young people? And I want to assure you that is a question actually that we spend a lot of time thinking about with this particular group as we are looking to train new people. And it's the question actually of how do we shape people? How do we form people in these character traits, encouraging people to be loving and caring? And part of that, I think, is we need to see it modeled, don't we? We need to see other people doing these things, and then we learn how to copy that way of doing things. So as part of the training, we're going to try and make sure that people are exposed to others who are involved in that sort of caring and loving leadership. So I can assure you that is absolutely going to be built into our training. The second question, how could the church be more accessible and relatable to children and young people? How could the church support parents and teachers more? Well, the simple answer to that, I think we need you to help us shape church so that it does become more accessible and relatable for you. I'm very conscious that when adults like me lead church services, we're often thinking like adults. That's how we think. So actually, it's far better to have people leading those church services who think like children and young people. So maybe you'd like to go and talk with your local vicar or somebody who works at your local church to explore with them how you might be able to get involved actually in helping make sure that the church is more accessible and relatable to you. And I think that goes for parents and teachers as well. The more we do this together across all our ages, young people and older people all working together, the more we learn from each other. And then finally, how could the church make more time and space for children and young people to build trusting relationships with adults? I was really struck from your feedback that the majority of you said that, particularly among the older age group, teenagers, that actually you would go to a youth worker, somebody who perhaps you can relate to in terms of not so far away from you in age, but maybe a little bit more experienced than you. That would be the sort of person that you would want to spend time with and go and seek out when you have a question. So that's exactly why we are trying to train 30,000 new children and youth workers who will work across our churches and schools all around the country, so that you've got people that you can just hang out with, spend time with, and people you trust, so that you can go to them with difficult questions, or you can go to them if you want to find out more about the Christian faith. So there's lots for us to reflect on more. I've only given you a little snapshot of what we talked about here today, but I want to say a huge thank you to you for your feedback. And I hope we can carry on this process of you throwing questions to me, and then maybe me throwing questions back to you as well. My next thought, I suppose, coming from your questions is maybe to hear something from you about your ideal youth group. So if you were to have somebody who you could hang out with, a youth worker in your church, working with your school maybe as well, running after school clubs, that sort of thing, what would you want that to look like? What sort of activities would you want? What sort of space for discussion? What do you think about exploring praying together, or exploring reading the Bible together? What would that need to look like for it to be really interesting and relevant to you? I hope maybe you can send me some answers in the next month or two so that I can reflect further on those and we can carry on this conversation. But for now, thank you for all that you've done, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.